Hey, how's it going, everybody? So today I am going to share with you guys my personal investment strategy. So investments is like one of my most interested topics, and I have made a lot of mistakes starting from the first day of me making my investments. Yet, hopefully, I have corrected all of them. So my current investment strategy is that there are two sides, two prongs of my investment systems. One is that my normal stock investments and ETF investments. The other side is my retirement. I'll talk about my stock investments first. So first, I don't buy a lot of individual stocks. Most of the stocks and ETFs I buy pays dividends. I buy dividend assets that pays a stable payout every period. And I think the dividend holdings, they hold different things. They hold real estates. They hold companies. They just do these kind of maneuverings so that they can guarantee a relatively stable monthly payout. I value invest as well. I invest in SPY. That's one of the biggest and the most publicly traded fund. I think I don't have any other ideas. I think that the tech assets are basically a bubble. They're gonna burst soon, and yet the energy sector, they are basically not even growing at all. But they have a lot of value. They are basically value assets. The company is doing great. That's why their stocks are worth it, even though the market is not putting the money into these companies. On the other side is my retirement. For my retirement, I try to invest as much as possible into my employer-sponsored retirement plans, as well as I have a small Roth IRA. Basically, I just put in mutual funds that are no load and no fees. The cost, so that I could minimize the cost for a little bit. Mutual funds annual growth rate is like 9-10%. So I'm happy as long as these assets reach about 9 to 10% annually, because I'm not going to be needing or withdrawing anything until I retire. On my other investment plans, since those are employer sponsored, I have a limited choice of assets that I could purchase. So basically, I do a portion, maybe 50-60% of US equities, like the large caps and small caps, as well as the rest I invest in, international equities and whatever the companies these international equity retirement funds invest in. Since you cannot withdraw these retirement funds, I would just leave them in there as long as possible. I'm pretty sure that a stock market crash is coming. It's coming very, very soon. Maybe it won't come, but it will definitely come. Like maybe like a one-day drop of like 30%. It might come, but you gotta be cool with it. You gotta let it. You gotta ride it. You have to ride it, and you have to buy extra assets while you can do it. But you cannot speculate. There's no way you know when to sell your current assets to buy it at a lower price. That's not going to work. Basically, the most important thing, one of the things I've learned from my personal mistakes, stay away from leverage. Leverage suck. Absolutely stay away from leverage. Leverage is very, 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 very dangerous. It wipes out your gains in a small crash. That's all I have. The number one problem is that my income is too low. I have virtually no income, but I would try my best to find a job as soon as I graduate from college. I would try to save as much as possible while I'm in college, and by the time I graduate from college, I will try to find a good job that pays adequately. Try to get myself some interviews and stuff. Hopefully I would not have to, get myself through some very shitty jobs. I would try to do my best, and I will keep saving because I know that my life could be treacherous, and my life will face a lot of challenges. I basically just have to, basically if I have enough money, I will try to max out my IRA, but I cannot because my income is way too low, and no matter what I do, I cannot max out my IRA for now, but I will still try to keep a little bit more money into the IRA, and we'll see how it goes. And on the other retirement fund side, one of my retirement fund does not charge ridiculous fees, but my other retirement fund charges significant amount of retirement fees, which I'm not very happy about it. But there's not much you can do about it. So basically, yeah, I will try to maybe deposit a little bit more money in my fee-enabled retirement funds, so that the assets don't get wiped out by the expensive monthly fees. I wish I can have more money, but I just really don't have much money for these monthly fees. On the other hand, basically, I just have to be really thrifty. I know there are some expenses there's no way I could cut, such as gasoline, utility. You have to use electricity. I have to use this lamp so that I can, be able to see things, and water, and stay warm in a terrible 20-degree winter, and insurance. You gotta pay insurance. I used to shop around for insurance, but you get tired of it. You get really tired of it. On the other side, you gotta pay all sorts of insurance, and if your car breaks down, you gotta pay for the maintenance. I cannot afford mechanics. I will try my best to get my own parts and fix it myself. Oil change. Mandatory electronics like phones, and you have to pay for your cell phone bills, this bill, that bill, internet bills. You have to pay for groceries. Other than that, I would just try my best to get my college degree and earn, try to find as good of a job as I can find, and try to stay away from poverty. Poverty really sucks. So one thing I can do is to, make my cloudy, murky future a little bit more clear by saving for the long term. Yep, I wish myself good luck, and I wish people who are poor like me could, be really wary of what they spend. But on the other side, there are some things in life that you have to spend. So it's a dilemma. If you don't spend anything, you will be literally, nobody will make friends with you. That's a problem. But on the other side, you have to save for the extent of an acceptable situation. It's always difficult, but you gotta work up to it. Anyway, I'm still considering whether I should put a little bit more money into my high fee retirement account, because the money you put in is always post-tax, because the money you have earned is post-tax. So the money you put in is virtually post-tax. Let me think. Yeah, also stay away from leverage. Leverage is nasty. Always use cash accounts. Stay as far away from leverage or margin as possible. Those things are nasty. Those things mess you up easily. Yep, And don't buy things you don't need. I'm always a fan of phones. I have a lot of different phones. I always want a new iPhone, but my wallet is screaming hell no. So I basically I'm using iPhone SE. I know this phone's like kind of old, but dude, it was released I think in 2016 or something. So you can use an iPhone on average like 4 to 5 years. I'm just gonna use this phone until Apple is no longer releasing any new updates for the software systems, which is likely gonna take 4 to 5 years. So I'm not gonna get any new phones until these phones completely pretty much die out or get replaced by newer technologies, because I don't have an extra $800, $700 to get a new phone for now. And the new iPhone is coming out in September anyway. Also, my credit score and my income is too low to get my iPhone financed. And I sometimes I want a new car. Who does not want to get a new car? But I have to drive my car that I'm having right now as long as I can do. You know, if it breaks down, I cannot just get a new car because I don't have a stable income. I have to fix it myself, or I really don't have other choices. I have to fix it myself. And I think that's it. Anyway, you gotta be really careful about your assets when you're poor. And when you're making investments, stay away from leverage. Always invest in stable markets, basically just in index funds. You cannot do those funds that project themselves as high growth, but you know, all the good industries, they're basically hot airs. They're basically blown out of proportion, their assets and their growth. You have to be really careful about it. Make really average, really candid investments that invest in the total market. That's the most important thing. Anyway, have a good one.